this out. We're going to be graphing linear inequalities today. Very similar to the first section of this chapter where we were graphing the two lines and seeing where they crossed. Just like, remember back in the day when we were solving inequalities and you ended up with x is less than 4, it didn't just include 4, well, it wouldn't even include 4, but it included everything below 4. So the same thing is going to happen here. So ordinarily you'd graph your line and that would be it. But now we're going to be shading everything included. So if it was less than that, we're going to be shading everything underneath that line. So check this out. Here are the steps. Determine whether the line will be solid or dashed. If it's a solid line, it's going to be less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So it's the or equal to's. Just like back here when you had x is less than or equal to 4, it was a solid dot on 4. So it's a solid line here. Now, if it's a dotted or a dashed line, that's just when it's less than or greater than. And you'll see what I'm talking about as far as those lines. Graph the line using the y-intercept and the slope. We've done that a million times. Determine whether you will shade above or below the line. Now, this one seems like it works in your brain. So if you're going to shade above something, that's going to be if it's greater than or equal to, right? That makes sense. If something is greater than, it is above you. And if you think it's less than, it would be below you. So it would be less than or equal to. Important to remember, when graphing systems of equations, the solution was just the one coordinate where the lines intersected. But now, with systems of inequalities, the shading shows all of the possible solutions. So the solid line, just like the solid dot, means that those coordinates are included in the solution, and the dotted line or dashed line means that those are not included in the solution. Cool? We ready? All right. Let's get after it. First example. Y is less than or equal to 1/4 x minus 1. Let me go up here. So we can know a few things. The or equal to means it's going to be a solid line. Whoa. Let me scooch that up a little bit. So we know it's going to be a solid line, and it's less than or equal to, so we're going to shade below. So we can get this out of there. Hey, you, come over here. All right, now graphing that line 1/4 x minus 1, you would start with the y-intercept, which is -1. So you go down 1, you make your first dot. Then you use your slope, the 1/4, to find your next point. Remember, that's your rise over run. So from that point, we're rising up 1 and over 4. And you can do that a few times, up 1 over 4. Or you can just use a straight edge. So we said solid line. And then we said we were going to shade below because this was less than or equal to. So shading below for me will look a little different on the smartboard. For you with a pencil, just shade real light, all this stuff. Which I guess, yeah, this isn't that different. So all this stuff would be shaded. Any coordinate that's shaded, if you substitute those values in for x and y in the original equation, every one of those coordinates will work. So like here, this coordinate is 10, -5. If you put in 10 for x and -5 for y in that inequality, it works. Every one of these shaded coordinates work. Let's try another one.